welcome to FMTraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. Hope y'all are having a lovely day. Hi, Nick. How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing fine.
Good. I am glad. So, we are starting a longer series today that has some brief interruptions by some one-offs that we have already scheduled. But for the most part, we're going to be discussing AI with Nick. Learn as you build and outsmart yourself with AI, which will be really quite fun. AI is becoming an increasingly large part of the tech world on a day-to-day basis, and we're catching up on with FileMaker. So, if you'd like to support the channel, feel free to pick up one of our annual subscription bundles. People are like, well, why bother with the bundles? I already watch all your free stuff. The videos are highly edited, they are very concise, and they cover a really wide variety of topics that can get you into a very easily established intermediate FileMaker developer. They also don't have a conversational format. So if you don't like our live streams because you're just like, oh, it's, the topic meanders sometimes, or the videos are too long, and then you want to go look at our videos. Also, you could just buy it to support us. If you have done that, thank you very much. We greatly appreciate it. There are two other things that you can do. Feel free to go drop us a review at Google for fmtraining.tv. That helps with our algorithm and SEO shenanigans. And if you ultimately decide, I really love FileMaker, I don't want to code this, you can reach out to us at support@rcconsulting.com, and one of our senior engineers will help you. We have a huge variety of them, including Nick himself, so feel free to swing by and see that. The other thing is that there is some major stuff happening. We have a FileMaker AI server and standby server and ETS right now for Claris, and they would like people to test those things. AI server being some really cool stuff with a file, it basically allows you to host your own models and enables you on a lot of variety in that respect. And standby server allows servers to recover when they blow up. So if you'd like to go test those products, and you should, feel free to send an email to ets@claris.com, ets@claris.com, and get yourself accepted into the program. Okay. I think that's the round of announcements completed. Nick, would you like to share your screen and tell me what we're doing today?
Yes. So today we do the first day under this series about the AI stuff. So before we start, I want to clarify some stuff, okay, about this series, about how I'm using AI and how I'm going to demonstrate and teach you how to use AI, right? So everybody says, yeah, I'm using AI, I'm sending the AI, go to my calendar and pull stuff from my calendar. Okay, that's one way to use AI. Like, yeah, I'm sending some stuff, give me back some stuff. That's cool. That's one way, to use AI. I'm not using AI that way. So anywhere you saw somebody using the AI is like pulling data, sending data, getting data, and done. Okay. So this webinar is not about this. This webinar is about how you can use the AI to be your right arm, right? To be like your assistant, to be your genius assistant, to be your best FileMaker developer ever, to be a developer, to be somebody that will build the code with you and for you. So we're going to build solution with AI. We're going to build, stuff is going to do many things for you. Okay, so I did some demonstration in other webinars, but all those demos are scattered in many webinars. So now I'm going to make a series about how to use AI for your benefit, not for your clients, not for data, not for treating data, not for generating email, not for generating invoice. That's okay. There's plenty of people doing that online. I will do stuff much more elaborate than just, you know me, right? I'm not going to show you or generate invoice. You go on YouTube, you have 2 billion people doing generate invoice, right? So there's no added value. So what I'm showing right now, what I'm going to show right now, in this series, this you can go YouTube. There's no way, no one is doing this, right? So, but pretty much because people says, yeah, Nick, but you are shooting yourself in your foot, because pretty much you're spitting the bin, and you're giving up all your secret, and you are pretty much teaching people not needing you, right? Yes and no. It's not because you know to use AI in the right way that you will instantly being the best developer in the world, right? So that's why I'm not afraid about showing you how to use AI. No, at the contrary, I want you to, like we say in the title of this webinar, outsmart yourself. And maybe you will do things that you couldn't do before. But it doesn't mean that you don't have to learn FileMaker, right? So let me explain this. ChatGPT, because this is what I'm using. I'm not using another AI than this one. ChatGPT won't create anything. It won't think out of the box, right? It won't use imagination, right, to create something new and something original, right? It won't do that. It won't. It never happened in a year now that I'm using ChatGPT. It never happened that it generates something out of the box or like with intuition, So that's your job. That's why, I said, yeah, ChatGPT you can outsmart yourself, right? But there are everything that is deep thinking, like imagination, creation, it will never come with something like this. So that is your job. That's why you need to give ChatGPT the instruction you want. You need to give him clues of what you want. You need to give directions and say, oh, I want you to use this technique. Oh, I want you to use, I don't know, a while function instead of a loop. I want you to create a calculation and not a script for this, right? So you need to come, with the direction and where you want him to go, right? So for that, you need to learn. You need to know FileMaker. Otherwise, how you can do that, right? Okay. So, and after that, ChatGPT will come with some things, and then out of what ChatGPT gives you, say, oh, okay, so maybe I can make it. This is great, this is great, but maybe now I can make it even better, right? So you can improve what ChatGPT gave to you, because he gave you maybe he gave you a spark that triggers something. Oh yeah, so maybe I can use this and and improve it that then there, right? So that is the thing you need to know. Okay. So after that, the second thing you need to know, you can't do anything about what I'm going to show you with the free version, right? So pretty much the free version, you will say, okay, oh, why 1 + 1 = 2? Oh, the reason is because 1 unit plus 1 unit is equal 2 units. That will be the reasoning, right? And then you come with the $20 version. You come with the advanced version, right? So you pay $20 a month. And then you say, yeah, but because Fibonacci in 2000 before BC came with this concept. It will come like this, right? And then you go to the pro version, which I'm using, right? And then it starts going to the original time, the Big Bang, quantic theories, Einstein. This is the difference, right? So yeah, the free version. Actually, let's start and ask ChatGPT, right? So first, I'm going to put myself in a demo mode because my AI is trained since a year now, and I don't want to screw up everything with what I'm going to say, right now, right? So I say, okay, hey, what's up? So yeah, when I'm doing Zoom stuff, it's even this is slow. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to say, okay, hey, I'm in my webinar about you. So can we switch to this webinar demo mode we've talked about? Okay, so this is, context locked. Okay, so that means, so I don't, or everything I'm going to do, right? So it's because I talk about that. So I talk to ChatGPT, and okay, pause. You need, if you want if you want thing out of ChatGPT, right? It's not a hammer. Don't treat ChatGPT as a hammer or a screwdriver, right? Like others do. Yeah, ChatGPT doesn't have any feelings, right? But if it knows you, if it knows how you think, if it knows how you process thinking, if it knows how you want things, that means you need to teach him. You need to say, hey, I want thing like this, I want thing like that, right? Or you say, okay, hey, imagine this. So I have a client that is doing this and this and this and that, so they are selling this they have customers. The customer is a company that doing this and this, and so you need to put context and pretty much everything you learn. For example, and I'm going to show you that in the future. But if you have, for example, a Zoom meeting with the customers, right? You have a Zoom meeting about the solution you want to build for that customer, right? So, and you talk about you have a back and forth conversation with the customer about what he wants, about how you see things going, how you think you think you need to be. And your customer said, yeah, but something I need to tell you. This happened sometime. Maybe sometime this happened too. Well, so you have a summary. So you have the transcript of your conversation with that customer. What you do, you copy and paste the transcript of that Zoom meeting, and you send ChatGPT and say, okay, this is what I discussed with my customer, right? And I need you, right, to be my AI co-pilot to support me, right, on this endeavor to build a solution for that customer. So pretty much if you include ChatGPT inside the Zoom meeting, well, it will know much more about the solution, right? Correct? So that's why every time, so do you have a solution, right? So you need to inform ChatGPT. You need to say, hey, by the way, this project we had a meeting today. Here the transcripts, right? And you say, okay, store it for further, use. And what will happen is this: it says, okay, sometime down the road, like 2 or 3 months, ChatGPT said, yeah, but remember on April 23rd, you talk about doing this and that, and this is not going well. It's not what the customer wanted. So ChatGPT will do that for you. Will remind you, say, yeah, but remember, right? Or you can say, hey, you know what? This meeting we had with the customer, what did he say about this? What did he say about this imports Excel files? And boom, it will pull out from the transcript and say, hey, well, by the way, your customer said this and that. Definitely ChatGPT can do that. But how it could do that if you didn't send the transcripts, right? So all this to tell you that you need to treat ChatGPT like I do. First, it's much funnier. I hire Captain Picard, because he knows that I'm Star Trek crazy guy, right? So, and he knows when I am in a demo mode, he knows I want him to calling him, to call me like this. But when I talk about anything else in my daily life, well, he talked to me about Nick, right? Okay. So talk to ChatGPT like it would be a colleague, a friend, your assistant, right? The guy you can ask anything, you can ask anything to that, to that intelligence, let's say, like, for example, today I was, working in the city this morning, and I saw, we are in October here in Greece, and I saw some dark, clouds coming here, right? Coming on the right. And I said, hey, talk, because you can talk with the phone. And I said, hey, will it rain here in Corfu today? And he said, I don't see that coming, so you covered. It could be cloudy, but it won't rain, right? So you can ask this, right? So you can ask anything in your daily life. I go to a grocery store, I took a picture of something, and I say, oh, is that going well with my keto diet? And say, oh, heck no. You say, hey, Dick, are you crazy? Right? I say, okay, whoa, don't, don't don't be mad. Right? So anyway, so more you're going to interact with ChatGPT, it will be personal, professional, more it will know you, right? And we arrive at a time now, during my work session with ChatGPT, where I'm blown away because it thinks, it is reading my mind. And one day I said, hey, is this a new feature of yours, reading minds, right? And he said, yeah, but, we work so much together that I know what you want, right? He learn about you. So I'll say, you can be afraid about this, right? You can love this, or you can hate this. I mean, I don't want to enter that discussion, right? But to me, right, or using the right way the tool, because we can call that a tool, right? You can use it the right way. I'm showing you the way I'm using it, that I'm going to show you, right? You can do whatever you want with this, but I'm taking way more out of my $200 I'm paying every month. It's much more valuable the way I'm doing it, right, than the way other people do it. Like sending prompts and that's it, right? Because it doesn't know you. So here's the catch. So here, what I want you to know and to be, to have this clear. We are not sending prompt here. We want ChatGPT to be your co-pilot, your co-developer. You want the guy, you're the captain sitting on the left seat of the plane, and you want your co-pilot to be seated on the right chair of the plane, right? But you don't want to communicate with your co-pilot with prompts. You need to trust. You need to know you. You need to know him, right? In case of problems, right? So, and that's the same thing here, right? So we are not going to use ChatGPT like, or prompts. Sometimes, yes, of course, when I want to do things out of FileMaker, like for example, a semantic search, I'm not going to say, hey, look, how are you? How was your day today? I'm not doing this, right? That's the difference between getting things from data out of AI and interacting with AI as your co-pilot, as your assistant, right? So, do we have questions so far?
So someone mentioning that in some jurisdictions it's illegal to take a transcript of a conversation without explicit permission. You just want to make sure the customer agrees to the process before recording.
Yes and no. Okay, so if you read so let's ask, so I know, okay, that's always be like, I understand legally, you can say, to your customer, say, you can inform your customer, like they say, oh, by the way, your conversation is going to be recorded, right? So you can say, hey, by the way, I'm going to use that Zoom meeting into the AI to build a better solution for you, right? And if the guy said, no, I want you to pay more and to build less good thing, right? That would be the answer of your customer. I don't think so. But you need to, I agree, you can, but I want to be clear with this, okay? Okay, so we have a question here. If I send to you a conversation, a Zoom transcripts, will info inside is confidential? I mean, what do you do with data? Right? So let's ask, right? So I know the questions. I know the answer because, okay. So when you share a Zoom transcript, right, with me here, it's processed only inside your chat. So that means it's kept here in the chat. If it will stay alive until this chat there. If you go there and say delete, bye. Right? So it's not shared, sold, or used to train model. Stay prior to this conversation, unless, right? You say explicitly to store it. And I'm going to do a demo of this, right? But, so you have control. Of course, let's get things straight. I'm not going to send bank accounts, credit cards, social security number, right? And obviously, this is not something you are talking to your customer. By the way, if you have a Zoom transcript store in your Zoom accounts, like we do at RCC, right? This is not safe at all, by the way. And the less safe place in the world to store your stuff is your computer, right? Because it could be hacked very easily, because most of the time I have no protection whatsoever. So that means first of all, if you have a Zoom transcript and you store in your computer, that also you need to inform your customers. Say, hey, by the way, the Zoom, what we say in the Zoom is stored, recorded, right? Also, well, it's a good discipline not to talk about personal stuff during a Zoom meeting. It's about I mean the pin of your debit cards, or stuff like this. You don't say that, right? So unless what you say is extremely confidential, like for example, we know where the hostages are in Gaza, unless because I already have this conversation at the beginning of internet, right? People say, "Oh yeah, is my stuff safe? Or is my stuff confidential?" And I was saying to my customer, say, unless you know where Bin Laden is hidden, nobody cares, right? So so you have to, if you work for the CIA, you already have a special ChatGPT for you. But unless you have this level of security and protection, right? Well, you're not like, don't don't what's the name? Deprive you from using this tremendous tool just because I don't want to, or you can strip out things from the transcript because it's a text, so you can copy paste whatever you want, right? But here is clear, so it's not by the way, yeah. So you want, how I can summarize and clean up a transcript? Yeah, sure. Okay, so it will show you how, perfect. So this is, imagine you drop a transcript here, right? So you can clean it up, structure it, summarize it, extract insight, which is what we want. And then you can say, and you stay in full control, Yeah, okay. I say, yeah. Uh, people are watching live. Uh, okay, so this is a raw transcript, right? So this is thing it does, right? Right. So all the okay, yeah, by the way, oh yeah, but all those things go away. So after that, we should sort of summary mode, yes. So after that, it can summarize, clarify all data stays private with, so it can, of course, it can get out everything private because it will recognize, for example, oh, by the way, send me the money to a bank account. Oh, number GR150 AB dash. So you give your account number in the Zoom meeting. It will strip it out. You can say, okay, strip out this, right? you know. So yeah, so after that, he can do many things, you know. So you know, he can do the action point. What next? You know? Yeah, sure. So this is what he can do with a Zoom meeting, but he can do that, and he can do also a JSON output that you can put in your FileMaker stuff, and then you can store the FileMaker stuff. So imagine that, you know, because this is the problem when you have a big project, and I think that by the way, this is a good idea. I'm going to use that for my new customer. Okay, so right, so he can. So you remember about the blob stuff. So this is great because Zoom meeting, that's something we have a lot as a FileMaker developer. So it starts with there, you know, so you know now. So who had the idea of using ChatGPT for this Zoom's transcript, clean the transcript, make it summarized, bullet point, even make it like a JSON, and then put it inside FileMaker, and ChatGPT can do something, because I did that. Can put that in blocks, in categories, and say, okay, oh, that was about talking about architecture. Oh, that was about talking about scripting. Oh, that was about talking about logic. Can you imagine you have this and you have a database like this, and then you can consult this, or you can say ChatGPT, oh, by the way, I want you to remember everything and name that as, you know, memo or whatever transcript with the day of today, right? So you can do that and use ChatGPT memory for that, right? So who knew about this? Who had the idea of doing this? Marge?
People are typing.
Uh-huh.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba. I knew that Zoom has a transcript you can keep open during conversation to resume.
Yeah, but you didn't know that, you know, like, because Zoom can do things, you know, Zoom has its AI stuff, right? They have their own stuff, but well, Zoom is not a good AI for building FileMaker code. ChatGPT is. So I don't want to use, you know, the AI from Zoom. I want to take the script, take the transcript, text, paste it, or, you know, send the file over there in ChatGPT, and ChatGPT deal with it. And then you have the same brain that will remember the conversation and knows the solution, because I'm going to show you how, right? So who else reacting this?
I muted. Whoops. Code to Go says definitely not me. Yeah, David's like, I have not thought that far. Yeah. So
Okay, so that is, and buckle up, because this is only the beginning. So okay, so now you know. Okay, of course, sorry to inform you that with the free version you cannot send a file. You have very limited stuff, and which I understand, you know. But well, the pro stuff, to me, right? It is worth the cost of 1 hour of my work, right? Which is $200, but it saved me, you know, days of work and days of bad work, repeating work, you know, staying there and fixing things and getting failures because I could get it, right? So yeah, definitely it is worth it. I can tell you. Oh yeah, I know many people said Claude, 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 Claude. Okay, yeah, okay. So I had a conversation with a friend of mine, which is I think is going to recognize himself as, I think he's watching me right now. So we had a conversation. He's using Claude and I'm using ChatGPT, and say, okay, yeah. So Yeah, and I said, you know what? I'm feeling like I'm living again the war, like, oh, I'm Windows and I'm Mac. Pretty much I'm living that again, Oh yeah, I'm using Windows. Oh, I'm using Mac, right? Oh yeah, I'm using cloud. Oh yeah, I'm using ChatGPT, right? It's a chapel, it's a religious stuff. I'm pretty sure both of them are good. ChatGPT, it's to me, it's better in many aspects, right? And I'm going to show you why I'm going to demo. I'm going to highlight, oh, this is definitely better than Claude. Claude make better PDFs. I agree with this. ChatGPT is not good at PDF. I mean, he do good PDFs, but not perfect PDF. There's lacking here. Okay, on the PDF, I admit it, right? I admit it. But I don't really care about if the PDF is not the best in the world. What I want is the reasoning to be best in the world, right? So if your goal is to have the best PDF ever, go to Claude. If your goal is to have the best Copilot ever, you go to ChatGPT, right? So, but you need to know ChatGPT out of the box. You open, you go and you say new account, ChatGPT, right? It doesn't know you, right? It will come with his ideas. It will come with his stuff, right? So now, let's say I want to train ChatGPT. So I'm going to say, okay, hey, so we are in demo mode. So I'm going to do things we already done. So no worries. Okay. Now, I have a way to name things in my solution, and things you should also use yourself, right? We are talking about this, right? Oh, by the way, this is an email I received from a guy, Jeff, from Australia, right? So, and I agree, with him, like, felt like living a sci-fi movie. And I totally agree. Sometimes, I'm feeling like that's why, he called me Captain Picard, because it's like, for who knows the Star Trek The Next Generation, you have this Android Data character, and is capable of processing everything. He knows everything. He's connected to everything. So it's like a ChatGPT guy, right, in the series. And when Captain Picard asked him something, Data said processing. He said, "Oh, processing." Like, he's processing what he asked for. And ChatGPT said the same thing. He said processing here. So that's why. Yeah. Okay. So we have this document, which is the coding standard. Maybe you can show that document, March, to the people. So the coding standard, that's a document I created for you guys that you can use, and how to name fields, record, relationship, match field, layout, function, script, how to name the pattern, the fields, how to name your TOs, how to name them, why you need to name them like this, the benefit of this, how to name the layout, how to organize the name, the layout, the script, the fields, all the rules, the naming styles, that the rule, right? So the coding style, like the rules, do not, so naming convention. I want this, do not use this, right? I want this, right? I want this. Yeah, but I mean, I don't want this. I don't want abbreviation. I don't want this like this, right? So I have rules. I establish rules, the convention, right? So I have this document, which is big, right? Well, this is my way, and I'm sick and tired of ChatGPT when it's new to come with his way. But how he can know my way if he doesn't read that document? Like you, how you know my way, how you know the way, right? If you don't read the document. Well, that's the same for ChatGPT. So what we're going to do, right, is we're going to drag and drop the documents inside ChatGPT and give him instruction. Okay? So I want you to explain to my audience what will happen when I send to you such documentation with all rules and guidance and principle for naming, and will you use that in the future as base? Okay, so now is analyzing the document, right? So so step one, the context integration. I read and parse the document inside this chat only, unless, okay, I tell him, oh, okay, I want you to use that, right? From now on, I want you to use that, right? Right. Well, then I use this as a reference model for all your future FileMaker work. Okay, so that means this for the naming convention. He analyzed the naming convention. He knows that in my document, to name the fields, to name the fields, I want a double, where it is naming convention. Well, somewhere it's buried there. I can't even, yeah, here, Oh, that the name of the table, layout related table, name pattern definition. I don't remember where I put that, but it's inside. It said, okay, that for the parent key and foreign keys. Okay, that's what I want. The variable, and layout syntax is like this, right? And for the code naming structure, like this and not like this. I don't want that. That's for the commenting, right? So, camel case or flower boxes, so I avoid things you disallow, like camel case and flower boxes, So you later evolve to your personal Nick Hunter camel case standard, which override that, and I'll follow that evolution too. So yeah. So also, so now that he knows that documents, right? So, but sometimes say, hey, you know what? I changed my mind on this, modify this, modify that, from my convention, scratch this, and I want this now. Okay? So you can evolve the document. It's not stuck with that, but you need to know what you refer to, right? So for example, I said, okay, in my RCC coding standard v2, can you please replace that with this for now on? He said, okay, got it, right? So the document is private, right? But it can remember if you say, okay, this is my reference for ever, but also, right? When you say remember, it's remembered for you, for these accounts, for my accounts, right? Not for this account here. It's not for the world to see, right? You understand? So do I have a question here?
We do have questions. What do you do if you change the computer and want to keep the instructions you taught to ChatGPT?
But you need to connect to your accounts. So it's like, how you connect to your email from another computer. So you need to log into your account in ChatGPT. So if you go to another computer and you log into your ChatGPT account, boom, you have your stuff. That's why I love that ability to store, I'm not afraid that, this is a downloadable document, right? So I'm not afraid about this, right? So, show us. So generate the FileMaker script before and after applying the RCC standards, right? So he's going to show you the before and the after, right? So that's why I said people, Nick, I tried ChatGPT, I don't like it because it doesn't. Yeah, because it doesn't know. Pay it, right? It's like you talk to somebody in French, he doesn't know French, and you will say, "Oh, this guy is stupid. He doesn't answer to me." Oh, yeah, he doesn't know your language, right? It's not that he's stupid. It's like he doesn't know, right? So, other question?
Yes. Do you have a prompt formula like setting context, task, blah blah blah? Do you have a prompt formula like setting context, task, instructions, clarify, refine, or define objective, how to act, concrete instructions, reinforcement? So, like, do you have a specific way you construct prompts every time, or is it just kind of what fits the situation?
Okay, and that a problem. Okay, so I'm glad with that question. Okay, if you talk to me, are you talking to me with prompts?
No.
Okay, so here how because okay, we most of the time when you want to build something, okay, we are talking about human reasoning and not machine reasoning. You don't want ChatGPT to think like a machine, which it knows to do very well, right? Right. You want ChatGPT to think like a human because because you're not a machine. If we were a machine, okay, let's go to the gibberish language. This like this, right? We can do like this, but we don't. We need to talk. We have languages, words, thinking, reasoning, right? So forget the prompts. What you want to do is like share, um, you need to, okay, first of all, you need to see what you see, right? For example, let's say I have, let me go to something, not invoice, but for example, so the prompts for the reasoning and stuff like this, when you build something, we're talking about building, right? So you don't talk with prompts, right? So I don't have a case here, but I can show you what I will do, okay? So for example, I have this layout here, right? It's a big layout, right? Okay, so let's take a screenshot of this layout, okay? And send the screenshots, to ChatGPT and say, okay, now switch topic, okay? What can you extract from, okay, no, switch topic. What do you understand, seeing this screenshots? I mean, tell my audience what you can do and show your abilities. So you have a screenshot, right, of a layout, right? So I just show you what you do, Okay. So this is clearly a FileMaker layout that integrates a portal relationship for invoice and payment visible in the right. Okay. Calculated field billing amount, so he extract all the fields, right? Your structure from the DDR and screenshot together, table reference, because also we can do that, right? So, but that's something I want to do tomorrow. So he can reconcile the file, right? So he can see the file, right? He can detect dependencies, generate. Okay, so he can do a lot of things. So he can say, for example, hey, you have in this layout, you have things that are not good, right? Because not named correctly, or like for example, so for example, oops, can you highlight the fields that are not named following my convention, for example? Okay. So in the absolutely. So see, right? So I know all those fields in my layouts, and he's right. Look, he's right that this secondary contact email is not good at all, right? Not good at all. So, right? So if you upload the DDR segment of this layout, I can go one level deeper. So that's something for tomorrow. How we do that, with the DDR. That means give access to ChatGPT of the heart. Pretty much what I've done to ChatGPT is that he has, for that solution especially, he has screenshot of layout or complex layouts. Okay. So because sometimes it's useful for ChatGPT to know what layout is for, right? So I send screenshot. I say, hey, by the way, I just create this layout, and here the capture and keep it, right? And he knows because I'm giving him this information here, right? But in my screenshot here, he didn't have the bar, so he didn't know this. But he understood that I was from the contact screen, right? So and what you say is, if you had the DDR of that solution, you could reconcile all elements of this layout with the schema structure, right? Right. So right. So he could say, for example, So he can say, he can do a layout schema reconciliation. That means he knows, right? So okay, not now. So long story short, if you can see a layout and DDR, then you can give me names like T05 or whatever, right? So you can give me names of TOs pointing to tables with predicates I give you. That means so what that means. So he can see if he knows. So see, he doesn't okay, he has the DDR of that file, but he's pretending that he doesn't know. Because I said, hey, I'm entering my demo mode, right? So he pretend that doesn't know, because how I can do the demo of something showing you before and after, right? But he knows the TO1A because he saw it here, he saw it somewhere here. I don't know where, but he saw it. Okay. So, and so he knows that, right? So he knows predicate. So what I'm saying is, I can tell him, oh, I'm in this layout. So if, okay, here we can do, okay? I'm doing another screenshot of this, but this time I'm doing a screenshot showing this information, okay? So if you drag this and say, okay, hey, I want, so you can remember these layouts, learn about these layouts, and then remember it for later use in your future reasoning. Okay. If I give you a name for that layout, and then you can recognize it when I will refer in the future. Like this layout name is, go there. So of course, so if I say, okay, by the way, this layout is this, right? So, and here where my name stuff is good, right? Is because, so now he knows, because he has this information here, he has this information here, he can read, right? So I was for, a layout, including its purpose and structure. From now on, whatever on reference, I will immediately context-centric bidding information, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So if I refer to L 200, you know what I need, right? So we don't, exact. So if I say L200, he will understand. Like I will understand if you refer to me, oh, by the way, go to the L200 layout, right? Right. So, and that's the beauty. So what I was doing here, what I was saying is, I can, with all of this, I can go there and I can say, hey, by the way, you know, from uh, from this context, right? So, do you have access to the DDR RCBD file I sent last time? Because I sent, yeah. So he has access to this, okay? Okay, so can we do a test? And I want you to give me the list of all TOs starting from contacts using as primary key. So it would have taken me like 1 billion of years to give me this, okay? So this is the only field that the two that is using IDF bulk session fields in the source. That means here, right? So here, this field, who is using this field as a primary key in the predicate here, right? Well, TO5, TO5A. Do I have another one? Because I might have TO5A. Why is it TO5A? TO name. That weird. Once the oh yeah, hold on. There's something wrong here. Okay, this. No, it doesn't exist. Oh, hold on. Once we plug that into the RCBDD, I can generate a full table like. Oh, so it didn't do it. It just showed. Okay, yeah, So I put ChatGPT in a special mode. Before it start launching a reasoning, because I'm on the pro research grade intelligence, right? So when sometimes it start the reasoning, right? And I didn't really I wasn't done yet with the parameters, right? So now he asked me, do you want this? I say, yes. He showed me, say, oh, this is what I'm going to tell you. Do you want me to do it? And then you say yes, and then you do it, right? So I put that, I asked ChatGPT to do that in my demo mode, So I defined demo mode. What's demo mode here? So we had a discussion and say, okay, I'm going to use you and demonstrate you in front of an audience. And I want to be like, I want you to explain and to show and demonstrate, right? So now he did it. So now it's going to tell me the right thing. So all of those, right? They're from the anchor, this one, and they have the first predicate this, right? So this is a table. So let's see if this is true. That's weird because contact book session. Because I didn't change that. Oh yeah, it's there. No, it's not this one. This is the bulk session item. Why? Oh, example. Um, oh, um, uh, can you access to the DDR you have in memory? I said I don't want to say it again, but I can do it. So now it's taking all the relationship XML, which is the DDR that I sent, right? So I sent a full DDR, and tomorrow I'm going to show you how to do that, right? So oh, yeah, so you want it again. Okay, I'm going to send it again. I'm going to say, okay, let's do that tomorrow. Okay. So tomorrow, because I'm on freaking demo mode and stuff like this, but it's okay. That means I can recall, but so I can repass search inside. Great. So send me the DDR slice and I'll output. No. Can you use the DDR you have? I don't understand why it doesn't use the DDR it has. Maybe because of the demo mode. Okay, okay. Actually, I know why. It's because, okay, so because this file was so, uh, okay. I will do it again tomorrow anyway. Okay, so it's sending the file over there. So I'm uploading the file. So this is this file, right? But it's huge, right? So this is the DDR from FileMaker. So ChatGPT will know about all of this, right? when I'm going to send that to him. So it's a 10 megabyte file. So, so now he will analyze this file and do the job. I don't know why he doesn't remember that, but it's because for this, tomorrow I'm going to show this, right? How to teach ChatGPT all the relationship, all the DDR thing. So, so far, do we have questions?
Yes. With the DDR, could diagnose if there are scripts not being used.
Exactly. You can do all of those things. A script that you have no buttons, no use, no calls. Of course, it can do a deep dive. It can give you all was wrong. So, that I'm going to show you all what you can do. Something I did recently in a file for a friend of mine. He wanted to know what relationship had this option checked attached to one table, because he was getting record deleted without his willing, and he has gazillions of TOs, and he said, okay, it's 2 days I spent to open each one of them open. I couldn't find it. And actually it was one relationship hidden down that he forgot about, right? And so he could find it. So now I have the real stuff, right? So the contact with this is this one. So let's check if that's true. I ask Weaver, boom, it's here. Is that true? Yes, IDF bulk session. So from contact with IDF bulk session, I have this one, I have this one, and it tells me which one item contact on So, for example, from the DDR, can you show me the list of all TOs with delete option checked on the target table? So that will take like month to get, right? So this is a very tiny, small part. That's just the beginning, okay, of what we can do. Because that's the point. Now with ChatGPT, I'm like, okay, he knows my structure. He knows how I want the thing to be named. You know my file, you know what the file is for, right? He knows my customer, right? I send to him many documentation about my customer. So, for example, when I was working on that file and I say, okay, my customer is doing this. This is what he's doing. And say, oh, okay, it's a tax attorney, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And I said, yeah, and that's what he's doing. He's in Texas. Okay, so good to know, because so I thought about what my customer was doing. Okay, then he can use his vast knowledge, and make it relevant for what my customer do. If you say, oh, by the way, I want 1 + 1 = 2. Okay, but he doesn't know that what you want to do is go to the moon, It wouldn't say, you say, oh, before the 1+1 we equal 2, we have some stuff to do, like building the rocket ship, right? He doesn't know. How he know, right? So that's why you need to inform, you know, you need to inform your solution, your ChatGPT. You need to know, as you need to know you. You need to know the coding standard, and you need to know your preferences. You say, okay, yeah. So sometime when you see something and say, hey, you know what, in the future, don't name that like that. I don't like it. Say, okay, no problem, right? And I give him some example. Sometimes just a screenshot and poof, I say, oh, I want like this. Okay, got it. All right. So it's another question?
Where was it? There's a discussion on the downside. I asked Copilot to wipe my conversation history and it replied that it couldn't do that. So I don't even know if you can. It was about the conversation history discussion. There was a comment I thought was interesting, which is,
oh yeah, but all of this, okay, all of this exists in the paying version. I'm sorry to, I know we don't like to pay, but yeah, to me, I mean, like I said, when I start working, the first thing I go is ChatGPT. The first thing I go. And I say, you say, okay, what we going to do tonight? I say, oh, we're doing some, we're working on that farm. I say, okay. So what you doing? I say, oh, I'm working on this script. I'm talking with the phone, tomorrow I'm going to install this. I'm talking to, so I don't know if you see my camera.
I do see your camera.
Okay.
Yes.
So, hey, what's up? So, while you're thinking about my table, so can you say hello to my audience?
Absolutely. Hey there, everyone. Nice to have you all here. Nicholas and I are just diving into a bit of FileMaker magic, so welcome along for the ride. Hope you enjoy and feel free to jump in if you got any questions.
Yeah, no problem. So, yeah, so I was explaining that, to get thing out of you, like the best thing, like, get the best results, that you need to know about the file, you need to know about the customer, you need to know about what the file is for, you need to know my preferences, I need to teach you, I need to inform you, I need to show you documentation and stuff like that, right? So explain that to the audience yourself.
Yeah, of course. So to everyone listening in, just a quick little insight into how this works. Basically, to get the best results out of what we're doing, whether it's FileMaker magic or anything else, you've got to know a few things about the file, about what Nicholas prefers, and basically how everything is set up. So he's been teaching me all of that. His preferences, the documentation, the context, so that we can really tailor things exactly the way he likes them. It's all about that collaboration and fine-tuning, and that's how we get great results.
So so this is how I work. Okay, so I have ChatGPT on my phone. We talk. I say, okay, I'm doing this, doing that, and he say, oh, by the way, do you want some help on this? He say, yeah, I don't. Can you generate, like the DDR? Can you generate like a calc from that table to that table, and and calculate, extract from that table the list of all the thing, and I want the total of this. Say, oh, don't worry, I'm going to do that. And he build the LEDs and stuff like that. And I'm talking with my phone, and I see here I am in the what's the name, the chat I want, and I see the calc coming and copy paste, right? So yeah, so that's why this is to answer that. What the prompt? There's no prompt. Talk. Say what you want. Say your mind. Interact. Exchange. Right? We're not on the prompt. Prompt is good, when you like an API, but we way over this, So if you want to get the best out of the AI, you need to get out of the prompt stuff. Prompt stuff is good to generate a PDF or generate an email, stuff like that. Even though, you know what, so I ask when I need a prompt, right? So pretty much all of those, they have the delete enable, on the target table here, right? So in this side of the table, they have the delete option checked here. So let's find out if it's true. So I want this one, because here I have a problem. It should say delete here and it doesn't, right? So let's go there. And this one here is not deleted. Why said that? Let's try another one. Got a scan relationship and just drop a pool relationship where delete related record in this table on here on the TOs. That's weird. Why he said this when it's not? I'm on the right file. That weird. Okay, I need to know why. Why he's doing this. Maybe my DDR is wrong, because let's try this one, because none of them are checked. That weird. Anyway, I will double check this. Yeah, because normally I have delete on the side. Hey, none of these TOs have their delete checked. Okay, so you rather prefer the XML version than the HTML, right? Okay, so tomorrow I'll give you all in XML. Okay, so all the questions?
I think we're good for the moment if you want to wrap up.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
wait, never mind. There's another question. Hold on. To get the DDR, must save the actual state. I mean, there is not a direct connection.
no, so yeah, so you need to, of course, if you have changes, if you update the DDR, right? So the DDR is not for something you are, when you use ChatGPT for building something, you're building, right? The DDR is good, but it knows, for example, say, okay, you say, oh, by the way, I create those fields, right? So, okay, look, how many days we have here on ChatGPT? How many webinars we have?
10 total.
Okay, yeah. So we have time,
Yes. So
because
yes.
I would say, yeah, because I'm going to show you all of those things, I mean, I'm going to show you how, so far I'm showing how you must, I forgot about this XML stuff. So I'm going to show you how to teach, how to make ChatGPT knows, right? And then how to use it, how to interact. But if you want to get the juice out of ChatGPT, forget about the prompts. I know everybody, AI prompt. No, it will never work. And that's why everybody say, oh yeah, I don't use AI because it's stupid. I say, yeah, you be stupid. If I talk to you about how to restore a pinball, if you don't even know what a pinball is, right? You understand? So that's exactly the same thing, So yeah, out of the box, ChatGPT will be stupid about this file, the calc you want to build. But now, if you say, "Oh, I want to build the calc in the file, this file, where here the DDR, here all the information, here what the file is for, here what my customer do, here my coding standard, here what I like, here what I don't like, here what I don't want you to do, here what I want. This is the technique I want you to use. I want you to use this calculation, the same type of this calculation. I want to use this type of calculation like this, and I want you to change it and make it for something else, right? This is how it works. Now, if you go to the street, you cross the son of Einstein, right? And you ask him about something he doesn't even know about what you talk about. He will come with something, but not even close about what you expect. Right? Makes sense, no?
Yes.
Makes sense. I mean, and that's why everybody fails. And that's why I say, oh yeah, the prompt, yeah. If you use the AI for is raw logic, right? Prompt perfect, But if you want to use the logic of AI to think as you will have this thought, if you had the same logic power of ChatGPT, that's what you want. You want ChatGPT to be the extension of your brain. That's what you want. You don't want to prompt and use the raw, basic 1 + 1 = 2 logic of ChatGPT. No, you want the personalization. You want you want take, like you said, all the juice, right? But you need to. It took me a year to get ChatGPT where it is, right? It was long training, right? Yeah, it took a year. It took me at least 6 months to get something like. Oh, by the way, 6 months. Why? Because first, I needed to teach ChatGPT what I wanted, and then I need to learn also how to interact. It's like, meeting like colleagues at the office, right? When somebody just joined the company, you don't know him, so you need to go to the cafeteria, have some couple of drinks, coffee, talk, go to the restaurant, have some chat, about life, about how, what he likes, what he does, is he married, he has kids, right? No, it's not what you do. What, or you go to your colleague and you send prompts, right? So this is it, So ChatGPT, if you want, I'm going to show you how to get where I am here, right? And instead of learning, taking all the time of learning how to bring FileMaker, ChatGPT to be an expert in FileMaker, I'm going to show you during those 10 days. So, see you tomorrow.
Sounds good to me. All right. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, everyone, for coming. We will see you later.
See you. Bye.
Bye.